Hello everyone, and welcome to an episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Adventure: 2020, episode 39, Jagumon's Potato Hell. I'm May, and this time I'm joined by some wonderful, lovely women as always. First up, we have the lovely Quinn.
Hi.
And the lovely Evie.
I am in ball mode.
Same, to be honest. And we're also joined, sort of, by the lovely Chloe/Chloe.
Hello.
Who is Cutemon. Yeah, Chloe, who is Cutemon on the thumbnail, which I have quickly edited in, because I have it ready from the last time we had Chloe's chip in. So with all that out of the way, we'll just move on to the show. The 8 chosen children have arrived at a haven for travelling Digimon, and Tailmon says that resting is important, so basically Tailmon has given, the all-good thumbs up for having a filler episode, and I kind of love this. Previously we had her saying, no, we have to do plot, and now she's just saying, no, today we're going to do filler, and it's just, she is directing the plot, and I'm like, yes, thank you, Tailmon, for giving us our allotted filler.
Also,
and,
I love that it's
we will
really
enjoy it.
unclear if Tailmon is the leader of the group right now. She sort of declared herself to be.
Yeah, and then when Joe later on when Goemon calls Joe the leader, Tailmon's just like, Joe's the leader.
She seems so sad. She's just
to be
real
fair,
put out.
has she met Joe? This is her first time meeting Joe, right?
I mean, yeah, it was last episode, but basically, I think anyway.
But, so this is kind of like, her first introduction is Joe being called the leader.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like, okay, I guess he's the leader. And then she calls him the leader, and that's kind of great. I kind of love that. Anyway, so the children smell something good, and Joe is fairly understandably anxious about what's going on, because he just saw a demon Digimon chanting, and that was terrifying. So I would also be anxious about, why would we just sort of go blindly forward because something smells good? That's, I think, a reasonable take to have.
That's valid, but also I would like some
Completely.
french fries, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same. And then we see the inside, and I'm really glad that... I'm kind of glad, but also a little bit disappointed we didn't go to, Digitamamon's diner all of a sudden. I liked how we got new Digimon doing this. Well, I mean, Bergamon's not new, but he's new to Adventure. He was in the best episode of Frontier, which... Also, it was called "Do You Want Fries with That?" in the English title, so it kind of also could be called this episode could also have that title.
It's true.
And no English dubs, they probably would just reuse a title.
This episode features so much cannibalism.
Yeah, so much. It's just Digimon just did some vor this week.
Even more
and
than
mainly
usual.
Even more than usual, because it actually had Digimon that are food. We have Bergamon and we have Potamon now, who is a completely new Digimon, by the way. This is... he's not even in the Virtual Pets. This is this guy's first debut ever. He's not in the Virtual Pets. He's just showing up. He's just
super here for this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fairly certain. I've never seen him before. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was in Cross Wars. But yeah, I've never seen this Digimon before, which makes me very excited because it's a new Digimon. That's cool. Anyway, so inside this restaurant, we see a bunch of Digimon that are just, it's really nice to see. We have Kunemon, who's like a little bug. We have Floramon, who is a flower that has honey tea come out of her nose from Frontier. That was horrifying. We have Budmon, who evolves into Lalamon, and we have Muchomon, who is just a red penguin, and I love him. And I don't think, has he been animated before? I don't think so, but he's been around since Digimon World, in the 90s, so, 1999 or whatever. So it's nice to see that Muchomon exists. Yay. Then we have the children see burgers, and I'm actually super surprised that we actually have Palmon seeing the burgers and asking Mimi if that's the food that she was talking about, which just... I don't know why. I was just really surprised that this got referenced.
Yeah. No, they finally, started remembering things, which, again, wow, that should have been a time skip. Would have been so easy.
Yeah, it makes the boat plot while they were fighting Devimon feel even more like, oh, you can just skip these chunk of episodes, because now we seem to actually care about our characters again, and we're just referencing things that happened. It's also, we're referencing things that happened to Mimi again, which is great. Mimi actually has, some sort of story going on, which is great. And it's just really nice that they reference that. That was from episode, 16, and now it's relevant. I don't know. I love it. And it means that we don't have to ever address it again. So when they go back to the human world, we don't have to complain they don't get burgers, because technically they're getting burgers here. So they're happy.
Yeah, but I still want them to go to Burger Jack for an avocado burger. It's what
me too. Absolutely. It is what they promised. I think the actual lines were, when we go back to the... when we're in the real Tokyo, which, so they hopefully will still do it, but I'm satisfied at the moment that we've at least referenced it again, which is good. Anyway, so Taichi's wondering why they have the food like this in the human world, which is actually a really good question. And then Bergamon shows up and gives the children free burgers, which immediately makes me so suspicious. Like, I was fairly certain that Bergamon would turn out to be evil the entire episode, and... it just turned out he didn't. He just sold burgers, which is also... Are these his children? Is this like an Umpanman deal of like he's pulling the burgers from himself? I don't know. There's some like...
do not want.
It goes... Yeah, there's some few layers of horror here. It's likely he just cooks the burgers, but he's also himself a burger, which, again, that's horrifying. So there's just like... There are a few horrifying elements of this episode, if you think about it, but it's fine.
I have a fun interpretation.
Alright.
Oh, yeah?
If they stop providing the food, they get eaten themselves.
Oh.
That's why it's free.
Well, anyway, I guess on to the outro then, because I'm done.
So, because
I'm done
they
after that.
to stop providing fries, they're basically saying, eat Pokemon, please.
Gee, no. Wrong. Oh, no. Yes, whoa. Oh. Yeah, that is horrifying. No.
Potato birds.
No. I'm good, thanks.
This is happy filler. Totally not dark.
Podemon is definitely, like, you know that old saying, you are what you eat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Podemon's definitely, he is what he eats.
How
which
many
is,
rocks
like,
was he eating?
I don't know, but he I don't know, Podemon for some reason looks a bit like me. Or at least what I think. He looks like how I feel when I eat fries.
That's valid.
Like, whenever I eat something with potatoes in them. Like, I just I just become like a little potato gremlin in like overalls. Anyway, Sora says that this feels like a highway stop, and Mimi's all like, oh, right, okay, sure. And then Mimi says that she usually travels everywhere by plane, so she's not been to a highway stop. So this is a kind of nice
be a little less
character
bougie.
moment. Yeah, just like, I'm kind of happy that like they've given her sort of like, this is just how she is, this is just how she experiences things, so it makes her kind of unique as a character. And I don't know, I'm just in general happy to have these characters just sit down and then just talk and have characters other than just rushing from action point A to action point B. Yeah. And only having characters when it's relevant for them to evolve, but otherwise not having much like how much conversation have the kids had where that's not just like tactics or describing the plot to one another?
Very, very little, and mostly involved the words Oni-chan.
Yes, basically. So this is like the first time the characters have felt like they can sit down and just talk. Like, Sora's just saying, this is like a highway stop. Like, that's just a conversation piece. And then Mimi's like, I'm bougie. I fly everywhere. Which, I don't know, it's just kind of a nice moment to have.
I'm just like, you could dial it back to like an 8.
She's such an unabashed capitalist.
I hate it.
Ch is like, at least she's something. Yeah. At least she's, at least she exists.
Union boss Mimi.
Joe then demands to know why the fries aren't being eaten, which is a reasonable question, because if I'm eating fast food, I eat the fries first, because they go soggy in like the little bag. So you have to eat them first. The burger can probably just hang out for like 3 years and be in the same condition. But those fries, like, they
get like 8
are
minutes.
only good for the first 10 minutes. Yeah, you get 8 minutes, yeah, basically. I would say, yeah, anything less than 10 is great, and more than 10, you still eat them because, like, I don't know, you have no self-control, but they're just so soggy, and they're just not, they're like just wet, salted noodles, and they're just not as good, but you still eat them. But you definitely eat the fries first. So Joe has a really good point about why no one's eating the fries.
In my air fryer lately, and they're very, very yummy.
Yeah, the one thing I miss from not eating carbs is, like, I miss fries. Like, that's something that doesn't really have a substitute. And that's the only thing, like, I kind of miss, but I don't really crave because I crave things that I can eat now, which is good. But I do miss them. And this episode really made me say, oh, why was my cheat day the other day pizza? Fries would have been a much better choice. I'm sorry, Joe. I have disappointed you. I'm very sorry. I will pay my respects by chanting a mantra and hitting a hat that is solid, like a helmet. I don't know. Anyway, so we find out that none of the Digimon are eating the fries, and Goemon wonders if it's because they're not popular, because they're hard to grab, and then demonstrates that he tries to grab it, and it's just... I don't know. I just really love this little moment of, like, Goemon saying, look, they're just really hard to grab, which is also... We don't get any other explanation about why they're not popular.
I mean, it makes sense. And then also, Potemon is, eating 90% of them, so...
Yeah, he is me. The most relatable character in Digimon is just a Digimon made out of potatoes. None of the children anymore. Not relatable. This guy gets me. Just like, I will eat all of those potatoes, even the ones that aren't mine, and not pay for them because... Things are free in this digital world.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like, Digimon basically just said, hey, we don't have a concept of ownership. And I was a little shocked when Mimi didn't go, really?
Yeah, she's like, how can I capitalize on this? And it just... Which is, again, it's so different to Digitamon's diner. And yeah, I know Digitamon was kind of being bribed by Devimon, so that's kind of a thing.
But also was still pretty similar years later in 02.
Yeah, but he was also... He had, like, a... Oh, no, he wasn't evil, but then he
Not
got the Dark Ring,
no,
but he was still demanding money.
He was just a capitalist, and then he became an evil capitalist.
Yeah. The Dark Ring did not give him capitalism, but it made him want to have more capitalism, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was just really kind of surprising to me that we're just doing something different, which is also kind of nice. Like, I wouldn't have been, like... If they had, like, a little, like, photo frame in the background of Digitalmon in an apron and then just nothing else, I would have loved that. Like, that to me is a perfect little Easter egg, but that means that...
It would be a literal egg.
He needed to be a little egg with an apron on. Adorable. I don't know. I kind of wanted that. Yeah. Anyway, so meanwhile we have Hikari talking to Tailmon about if she's been here before, and Tailmon says she has, but it's changed since then. And then, because we can't have these two characters talking for much longer, we have a sudden sandstorm. And it just turns out to be Komodamon just scratching some dirt off himself, which again, everything Komodamon does is adorable, and I just love everything always.
It's very good.
And then we see another one, who is clean, and he has, like, Bishonen sparkles, because of course he does. And we find out he's being cleaned by Lunamon's bubbles, which is kind of adorable. And this is a Digimon who I feel like may have been in the Cross Wars anime, maybe, but otherwise has just been in the DS World games, and they were story games, weren't they? Yeah, the games on the DS, and also in the Virtual Pets. And it's just really nice to see a Digimon that we don't see much of. It's just, I like seeing Digimon. That's a good thing about Digimon, is we see Digimon.
Yeah, and I like it when the writers bring up something they haven't done repeatedly.
Yeah, and then we see Tankamon, who is asleep, and they're kind of like, "Hey, isn't this Digimon? Didn't he try to blow us up at one point?" Like, "Oh no, he's just a mercenary. He's like this when he's not working." And this is really cute. I don't know.
I'm here for it.
There's something special about this Digimon car wash.
Whoa, whoa,
I don't know. They are working at the car wash.
That sounded so ethereal.
Then we go back to Joe, who's explained to Goemon about how he has a character, and he's saying that he used to go to eat fries after school without telling his parents, and he says it was a nice moment for peace in between studying for him. He had to not tell his parents that he was going there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something sweet about it. Maybe I'm just easily impressed. And anyway, so then Potamon shows up, and we find out that he just really loves fries, and he just burps in Joe's face. And then Joe, for some reason, is happy about this. Like, I've never seen someone so happy by just having someone that they've never met before, steal their food, and then burp in their face.
Potamon, I'm your potato buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah. And it turns out Joe's just happy because somebody else just really loves fries like him.
Well,
And then Mimi... Yeah, basically. Which is kind of cute. And I'm like, you didn't bond like this with your actual Digimon, but that's fine.
You're not wrong.
Mimi, yeah. Mimi says that they're potato buds, which is adorable, and then they've sort of decided that this is like the name for themselves. And then Gomon tastes a fry and he likes it too, because I guess he wasn't able to eat it before because it fell out of his little claw fingers.
Makes sense.
And he likes it too, and that's kind of like a nice little thing. And then Bergamon comes along and says that today is the last day that they're serving fries. Again, we don't get a reason for this.
Yeah, everyone
I'm guessing
decided,
maybe they're running low
so, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it must be because, if they're not popular and I guess they're running out of them, like potatoes, I don't know. We don't know how potatoes grow in the digital world. Apparently they just come from potato monsters, I guess.
Like you do.
And then, as you do.
Wait,
and Potamon starts crying.
Making the potato fries, then eating the fries. How?
Yeah.
It's the circle of fries.
Magic.
That's not.
It is the circle of fries.
It's not how digestion works.
Well, Anpanman would take bits of his head off and give them to people, and then his gay dads would make him a new head. So it's not the weirdest thing that Japanese television has ever done.
You're not wrong, but I wish you were.
Anpanman is wild. The bad guy is Yeast.
Who?
Yeah, and he has a dog who is like Japanese bred, like Shokupan, and his name is Cheese or something. And the bad guy has like a girlfriend, and I think she's also a sort of like a yeasty thing as well. But like sometimes she's good because sometimes she doesn't like being bad, but sometimes she really likes being bad. I don't know. Anpanman was wild.
I'm absolutely baffled. I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, he's a little man and he's made out of bean paste.
A villain, to be honest.
Yeah, he's Yeast. He's purple and black. He has a really cool design, but he is Yeast. I love Japanese television. Anyway, onto this Japanese television. So...
Great segue.
We have Potamon just breaking into tears. Yeah, I'm really good at those. And he just starts pouring fries into his mouth because he's having a breakdown, and he's just pouring fries down his throat. And it's so relatable. Like, this character is so relatable. He's just jamming fries in his mouth. Like, good on ya. Me too. I like that.
I've had takeaway 2 nights in a row. So...
Same, honestly. It's a good move, honestly. Anyway, so Hikari shows up with a broom, and then we have Taiti questioning this, which is a fair enough question. And then we get a cleaning montage when we're all cleaning Komodamon. Yeah, basically it's like, I have a sister. Who are you? Because she was off screen for like 10 minutes, going off and having her own adventure, I guess.
We didn't get a separation arc this episode.
Anyway, I was honestly really surprised that they didn't decide to split the cast up.
It just didn't show half of them most of the episode. That was the
it did have them split up in a way that like
they got to be
like,
in a
some of them were just hanging out with Komodamon
episode, and we're still together at the end, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it's still like we're not separating them for dumb plot reasons, which was one of my main concerns, that we were just going to have, and we've decided to split up. Reasons unknown.
I mean, I think that's I don't know,
it's the first time they've been together.
Next time, but we got filler first.
Yeah, which is, it's at least they had sort of like, okay, y'all have to hang out with Komodamon, and y'all get to have burgers. I guess at least they were doing something.
It's a breather episode.
Yeah, which is really great because we haven't had any of those in like 38 episodes. We get to actually just relax and have the characters talk. It's nice. I like it. And also it's about potatoes, and I like that. And I don't know, I really like Jargamon, by the way. But that's a bit jumping ahead. Anyway, so my favourite part of the whole cleaning montage is by far the fact that Mimi has something else that's made out of leaves. And it's like she's got this little apron, and it's just adorable. I'm so happy that Mimi exists. Joe is also helping, but he can't stop thinking about Potamon. And Gomon calls Joe a leader. And this is the part we brushed over briefly at the start. We have Tailmon questioning this. And, it's just kind of funny for some reason. And Joe slips and lands in bubbles. But they're actually soft when he lands on them, because that's how Lunamon's bubbles are. They're kind of, like, soft. Which makes me wonder, how do you clean with them?
Right?
like, wouldn't they be like, if they're so soft, like, you need something kind of, I don't know, that there's probably some, like, maybe it has, like, scouring technology in the bubbles, I don't know. But there's definitely something about them, I don't know. Meanwhile, we have Potamon crying, and suddenly he gets angry and evolves, and I started by saying he didn't even, like, vor any Digimon, but then I realized that maybe he was eating himself, so maybe that counts? Like, Digimon evolve by eating one another. This Digimon is made out of potatoes.
You're not wrong.
And then he evolved.
Yeah.
Imagine just, like, biting your nails so much that you get bigger.
And become a new form that can make giant fingernails.
That is horrifying. That is absolutely
That is basically
horrifying.
what just happened.
The worst thing you've ever said.
Evie, that's like the second thing that you've said this episode that just makes me want to never look at Digimon ever again.
I'm not in a good
Like,
place.
I feel like I'm responsible for that, to be honest.
First of all, we're eating Potamon because we're out of potato. We don't want to make potatoes anymore. And then we're also, if we bite our nails, we can evolve into giant fingernails. That's
You are what you
horrifying.
eat, and Potamon was exclusively a cannibal.
horrifying. Obviously, like, great. Let's move on anyway. So we have Jargamon, who, by the way, is a lot bigger than we've ever seen him before. I'm pretty sure we saw him in Tamers, and he's kind of like, I guess, Gomon size.
It was good.
He was a small boulder the size of a large
I also
boulder.
didn't remember, like, wasn't he a child in that? And
No, he's always been perfect level.
okay.
Like
He's
he
perfect.
actually, time to talk about the virtual pets. He debuted in the Digimon Pendulum version 1.
That's fair. I guess I'm just remembering Cyber Sleuth poorly.
I have a question.
No.
Was the Digimon
Yes.
Pendulum version 1 the first one?
Yes,
That
the first
surprises
Digimon
me.
Pendulum. He was, or maybe he was in the 1.5 as well, or just the 1?
I'm just surprised that version 1 is the first one.
Version 1.5 was not the first one. Version 1.5, I think, was the third. So at least there's the thing.
V-Pets are dumb.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, moving on from that little bit of sacrilege of not liking virtual pets, which is not allowed on my podcast, by the way. Anyway, so Jargamon is throwing exploding potatoes, and then we have Garurumon being Garurumon and just running around and saving things, and we see Pasurimon, who is actually the baby form of Herismon, who is the Digimon in Rearise, which is the current free-to-play Digimon mobile game, which I do really like, actually.
I knew I
And
recognised
it's
the
just-
design, I just couldn't remember where from. But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I helped. But anyway, it just, I don't know, I was surprised to see Pasurimon in something. Mm-hmm. Also, Herismon is also in the virtual pets, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so we have Agumon evolving to Greymon to fight. We're doing quick evolutions today because we actually want to have characters interact, so we don't want to take up 3 minutes per, like, with just one evolution. We have Birdramon rescuing Blimpmon, and then Pegasusmon and Togemon are attacking the potatoes. Gomamon evolves to Ikakumon, and Joe still has the afro from the bubbles, which helps because otherwise when he falls back and lands on his head, he would have definitely had a concussion, which is great not to have. And I was just really kind of surprised he kept the afro, to be honest, and then he loses it later. Yeah. Anyway, Joe's fries fall out of his bag, and Jargamon eats them and burps Joe's afro off. And then this makes Joe realise that Jargamon is Potamon, his potato bud, and he says he wants to save him. So when they're fighting, we have Jargamon being able to protect himself with a glowing ring of potatoes, as you do, and Mimi notices that Lunamon's bubbles soften a potato's landing and it doesn't explode. So they have a plan, and that plan is use the bubbles to not have the potatoes explode.
Somehow.
So that somehow. It's still better than the Marmemon episode.
Yeah.
Like, at least this physics, I can kind of, like, nod my head and go, oh, yeah, okay. We didn't say there were, like, the bubbles are just kind of this consistency that I guess doesn't exist in the human world. It's kind of like a new thing. That's fine. It's still, at least the Marmemon episode still kind of makes me feel why they fly like balloons, why they stick like that, what they explode, they're bombs, they're solid, they go click. I don't know. Anyway, still mad about that episode, by the way. So Ikakumon evolves to Zudomon, and Mimi pilots Komodomon over to Zudomon so he can use his hammer to blow the bubbles over the attack. And then Tailmon calls out to Joe, calls him leader, which is great, and she evolves to Angelwoman. And so Zudomon is able to use Angelwoman's power to have the big ring in front of the hammer. I'm not sure exactly what it does. It powers them up, but also, I guess, apparently gives Joe the ability to hold the hammer, which... And I posted this on Twitter earlier today, but it just reminds me of when we have Terriermon holding the Zudomon hammer in Tamers, because it's part of it's a Digimodify, I believe, and it just looks exactly the same. I put it in the Discord channel and also put it in the link dump as well, so you can also see that I made a picture that just says same energy, because honestly, it's just a small thing holding up the hammer, and I guess it means that Joe is worthy or something. I don't know. He's doing a thing, and it's very surprising. And then
they've just used the crest of light on it.
Yeah, we've just used the crest of light, and we don't see a silhouette of Vikemon.
I'm saying that the hammer is light.
Oh, okay, you made a joke. I thought you just meant like that's just what they were doing. But yeah, you're right. The crest of light made it light. No, that kind of went over my head. Thank you for explaining, actually.
Yeah, that does explain why it is that Joe was able to swing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's exactly what they were going for.
We know now, without a doubt, Thor hammer is light.
The pun doesn't work, because isn't like the Japanese word for light, like as in not heavy, is karui or something along those lines? Yeah. And that's not but... So the pun doesn't work in Japanese, so what is the reason?
We apparently are doing magical power-ups, and last week it was Izzy spitting straight facts, and this time it was Joe's deep passion.
No, that was Joe spitting the facts.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Okay, Joe is just the leader and has holy powers sometimes, and also Tailmon helps.
He's also buff, apparently.
Does Joe have homeostasis this time?
I don't
Jomeostasis.
think so, but
oh, wow.
Joe is almost being a character this time.
Almost.
I'm just going to say
and
it again because it was funny. Jomeostasis.
It was.
You know what?
I'm glad it's the
title. It has to be.
Yeah, it was going to be. Do you want fries with that? But Jomeostasis is so much better. I'm glad that exists.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's my contribution to the episodes.
You've made so many contributions today. Some would say too many.
Wow.
Mainly because they involve Vor. No, but they all involve Vor. That is too many.
What?
You know, the Vor has pretty much all come from you, at least this week.
Yeah, so it's surprising when it doesn't.
I've not had breakfast yet, okay? I'm hungry.
Evie wants to just vor some Digimon right now.
Why don't you just eat your fingernails and then evolve into a giant finger or whatever you said? This is definitely the most chaotic episode of the podcast.
I'm mostly asleep.
Same. We get a filler, so the podcast also gets a filler.
Tailmon told
it's good,
so.
And Tailmon gave us permission. Yes. Anyway, so Joe hits Jargamon with the hammer and then offers Jargamon a fry, and it's really nice to see a sort of a character that's human have a bond that's established with a Digimon who isn't their partner. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of nice to see, and we don't really see it that much for Digimon. Usually it's just the human will bond with their Digimon partner and maybe one other human, and that's about it. So it's kind of nice to have, like, you bond with the monster of the week, you don't fight the monster of the week. I don't know, it's just kind of nice. And then we have Tailmon wondering if Joe is a senpai or leader, because people start calling him Joe Senpai, and Hikari's just like, he is senpai and leader. And Tailmon's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, yay. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that Tailmon and Hikari exist just on this, like, in this way. Like, it's so much better that they just didn't exist. They're just vibing, they're just hanging out, I love it. Then Sora notices, because this is her contribution to the episode, other than just when we have Mimi being bougie, Sora notices that they'll be able to make so many fries with the potatoes that they now have, the ones that were, exploding before. And then we see Bergamon has made lots of potato dishes, and Jargamon has remained Jargamon, and he's helping out the restaurant now, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. And
then the children leave, and it's kind of cute. And we get a new ending animation, which is just all the kids hanging out with their partner Digimon in the human world. Great. It's kind of nice to see, but it's not. Nice. I think I still preferred the second ending animation and ending song, and I think I preferred the previous ending song and animation to this one. But also, they kind of I kind of warm to them each week, so I might just start to like this one more. But it's cute, but it's not like nothing to really write home about. At least for me for today, until in 20 episodes time when I realize there's something that's super adorable that I just don't pay attention to, like the book
covering his eyes with his wings.
No, I mean, like, in the last one where we have, like, Joe holding a book that says Kirei na Sakana.
Oh, and so I just did not notice. Just regular old cute Patamon.
Well, no, that's... I love cute Patamon, but that's always... Patamon's always cute, so it's like, why would it be anything... That's not something that's different. Patamon's always like that. That's the state of being that Patamon is. I love Patamon. Very cute. Anyway... So we get a Digimon encyclopedia, and we're learning about Lotmon, and Koshiro says that he asked Patamon for information because they look alike. How? That seems weird. They don't look alike at all. But anyway, Patamon says that the big ears must give Lotmon a stiff neck, which is a weird thing, but whatever. And then we're going to learn about Marine Angemon next time, and I can't wait for the whatever horrifying thing Koshiro has to say for us next time, rather. And that's the episode.
He's probably going to ask Gomamon because they look alike.
But they do, at least.
Not that much.
Gomamon does or can evolve into Marine Angemon. That's like when I was like first learning. When I was first learning about what Digimon evolve into, like I saw a bit on the internet that just said that was his fully evolved form. This was when I was like very young. Like I'd just seen Digimon. I think I was like 7, and I was like, oh, that's his fully evolved form, I guess.
I wish to be
Same honest. With Godramon being Patamon's one. Yeah, it would be really cute. I wish that was the case, but maybe it's not. Not today. And also, where was Vikemon's... Like, hang on here, we didn't get Vikemon's silhouette, but we did get Marine Angemon's.
Imagine.
So now that we've finished talking about the synopsis, time to discuss this episode. What were our highlights?
It was good. It was well written.
Mm-hmm. It was filler. I'm happy we had filler. Like, have we seriously not had any filler in this entire season?
Not really, if only because the perfunctory evolutions happened for quite a while.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of episodes which would have definitely been filler if it wasn't for the fact that an evolution happened. And, I mean, some episodes, like, you could say the entire Devimon arc felt like filler because it did. It didn't have the cast in there. We're not ever going to reference it again, apparently. I would like us to because I have theories.
Yeah, about the most we're going to get is dark evolutions make someone unable to talk unless someone can talk them down with the Iron Giant speech.
Yeah. And we haven't, like, the majority of the cast wasn't even there for the Devimon fight.
No.
So, and we haven't really spoken about the Devimon fight. Like, hey, Taichi, remember the time you got vored? We're not ever going to reference that again.
Patamon, remember when you were friends with that guy once, apparently? No? Me either.
Yeah, with Devimon. No. Yeah. There was apparently something there. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
They're
I hope there's going
to
be some actual
until the show
thing.
says otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on the Devimon was one of the holy Digimon but got corrupted, and that's why he wanted Tailmon and Patamon to also be corrupted.
We can both be
still
right.
on that train.
Mm-hmm.
We can both. They can. Yeah, both can be right. It's just So it's just kind of nice having actual legitimate filler where it's a character moment and it's kind of nice. We learn a bit about Joe. We learned that he really likes potatoes. That's kind of like a cute, unexpected thing that I kind of love and I'm really happy to have. And it's just really nice to have the characters sit down and relax. Like, the fight in this week's episode didn't really feel like a fight. They kind of just had to calm down somebody who was taking some bad news really badly. But otherwise, it was kind of, I like this episode. Good. I like it.
It was fun.
I know nothing about Digimon, but after watching this episode, Joe is now my favorite character.
Completely reasonable, to be honest. Like, also, yeah. Like, this episode was a really good episode because an episode that is surrounding a certain character, that character should be your favorite. And if it's not, the story didn't do its job.
And
So
it's the first time in a minute
Joe
no
is
one else
the
has
best.
just like hopped in to steal the screen time.
Like,
We
I think
barely saw Taichi.
Thank you.
Tai said as many lines. No, Tai said less lines than Sora.
Probably less than Hikari as well.
Good.
Yeah, probably less than Hikari. Like, Mimi had lines, which is good because that's important. And we have Joe obviously having the most lines because this is his episode. And did Yamato open his mouth?
Maybe once. When
That's why it's a good
Gurumon saves
episode.
someone.
I forgot he was there.
Oh yeah, with he's because Pasurimon. I was distracted by Pasurimon, but that was basically his contribution. He rescued the baby form of the Digimon from a free-to-play mobile game.
Oh, and Gabumon does not want a bath, please.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
He is a dog, but also is Komodamon is also a dog, but seemed very happy with the idea of having a bath. Some dogs just be that way. Some dogs just think they're being cuddled or like given attention, like even when it's a bad thing. I've seen dogs love getting like, medicine because they just like getting attention. Like they're like, oh my gosh, somebody's touching me. I love that.
What a move.
And other dogs are just like, nope, none of that, thanks. Nope, none. And then that's my dog. My dog will have none of anything ever. I love my dog though. He's very special. Anyway, any other highlights? Besides the hammer?
Oh, the fries are put in baskets made out of leaves.
Yeah, which I guess I kind of wanted to see Floramon doing that because Floramon is also a flower Digimon. That'd be kind of cool if a Floramon worked there and was doing that. But I don't know, it is kind of cute and also completely sustainable.
Yeah.
I like that.
Floramon's not at risk of being eaten.
Well, she does. You can drink her snot, as Frontier showed us.
What?
Do you not remember that in Frontier?
I did not.
The kids go to the Floramon village, and they're like, "Hey, do you want some tea?" And they're like, "Okay," and they drink it, and then they're like, "Do you want seconds?" And like,
forgot
"Sure."
about that.
And Floramon just tips her head forward, and just like, snee, and just all this yellow stuff comes out of her nose, and it's. I'm sure I can find an image, but
No, you're
it
right.
is
I remember
most
this
certainly
now.
horrifying.
I hate it, but you're correct.
Oh no.
I'm glad the
I
word
don't-
beverages. That's a highlight.
I looked up Floramon nose, and for some reason just had a picture of a dog's nose, which I'm not complaining. That's a very cute dog, but I kind of wanted to see Floramon's nose tea.
I'm pretty okay with this.
But
What a sentence.
yeah. Anyway, so that's the thing that was horrifying, and we're not seeing in this episode. So that was, I guess, also a highlight because honestly, horrifying. Any other highlights?
Potatoes?
Potatoes is a highlight, to be honest, and also Joe's highlight.
I love potato buds.
Yeah, it is adorable. I hope that we see Potamon or Jargamon again, just because it's just really nice. But I doubt it. I doubt we'll see it again. Any other highlights? Are we ready to move on to lowlights?
I do like the new ending theme.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it is cute.
it's a bop.
I'm just here for the the characters just kind of hanging out, having like lives, being people.
It's very original adventure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in the first shot, I'm pretty sure that I thought that because Taichi was wearing the same pajamas he's wearing in the pilot movie, I thought that we were all just going to see the kids as like younger forms of themselves for some reason, even though that would make no sense. But Taichi's just got the same pajamas that he wore when he was a kid. I think that's the implication there. Lowlights?
It was a little bit bland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like
The Dark
it didn't really
Evolution
have
was
much
really forced.
depth to it. But yeah, I guess it was kind of like he lost his temper and then ran off and then evolved. But I don't know, it's kind of like it does feel like it's missing something, but I don't really have many complaints about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just kind of
It just could have been better.
meh. It was fine.
Yeah,
It was.
which is something that's rare for this season.
Please let's do this again, but on the moon.
Oh, no going to the moon. I'm done. No Frontier. I don't want to go that heavy into Frontier. No.
But there are no whales, so we tell our tales and sing a wailing tune. Anyway,
That's some old South Park.
it's Futurama.
Isn't it South Park?
Second episode when they're on
Really?
the happiest place orbiting Earth.
Yeah, that is Futurama.
Yeah.
That is Futurama. Why did I think that was South Park?
Because you're wrong
They
sometimes.
did put a
you-
whale on the moon in South Park. Sometimes. Only that time. That was the
That
one
was
time
the
I've
one
ever been
time.
wrong. The one time. That was it. And no more. Never again. Always right. Especially when we move on to the rating portion of the podcast, which I'm always right about.
And
Always. Forever.
when we get
Never
to
wrong.
the outro,
I've
where
given
you
it 5
never
again.
make mistakes.
Never make mistakes. Never in the outro. I'm the best.
Never.
Anyway, so favorite character, I'm going to agree with Chloe and say that Joe. I was going to try to make that sound like Chloe, but
J-Yo.
J already kind of sounds like that.
Joe.
J-O. Joe. It's just Joe. It's just Joe. That's the way. If you pronounce it with the ch sound, it's just Joe. So yeah, I've picked Joe. Evie, who have you picked?
Jotato.
Joe Tato?
Yep.
Is that
It's
just
like,
Joe?
it's the worst spin-off of Jotaro.
Joe Tato
Is it Joe?
Is it just... Is it, I'm writing Joe.
Joe Tato
Jotato
post-star.
Joestar.
And Quinn?
I am also gonna make it unanimous. Let's go, Joe.
Okay, we're just Joe across the board. Way to
Because
Joe.
knowing it's
The
half
only
the
other
battle.
character was Potemon.
Go,
So-
Joe.
Yeah, Podemon. Yeah, Podemon was really cute. But Joe.
Joe's the only one we'll
This is-
see again.
Oh, that's really sad. Even if it was just because Podemon
Remember
evolved.
when Namon existed?
Who?
Yeah, I think that we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
We're never, and I think Leomon's dead.
Yeah.
Who?
Which is really weird. That Leomon just sort of showed up and died and did nothing for the plot.
That work here is done. But you didn't do anything.
All he did was die. Anyway, for rating, I gave this episode a 4.5. I really liked this episode. It was just really fun. It was stupid, but it was a good amount of stupid, and it's just really nice that we got to actually have the characters relax and have some filler, like have some actual well-deserved downtime. And it was just really nice to see the characters like interact in that, and also I really like Podemon, and I also just really like Joe. So
last
that was
little
fun.
light. No ketchup. What the hell?
Yep.
You
one?
don't need ketchup for fries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
add
gonna.
ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup isn't really put on fries.
Y'all are
For me.
wrong.
Like, you
I
can
can
dip,
appreciate
you can dip it in
with
ketchup if it's there, but you don't need
Exactly.
That's fair. Although, frankly, I will take mustard over ketchup any day.
it. Mustard's too spicy.
Also, just eat fries.
Yeah, I usually
ha-
eat
ha-
fries without a condiment.
Ooh, ooh.
I mean,
Who has
I
who
most
has
things
who
are
has
condiments. I don't even salt things.
who has time? Who has time to add things to the fries?
exactly.
I just eat them. They don't last long enough.
You
I've got to eat them before they get
compromise
soggy.
Their portability to dip them, you know.
See, that's why you make your own.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh out of the oven. Or, in this case, the air fryer.
And
Get
also-
an air fryer. Air fryers are
and
amazing.
also-
I feel like it would hurt him.
I'm a fryer now.
Yeah.
And also the only thing that's better than fries are potato gems. Potato gems are the best.
I'm not sure if
I miss them.
Are they like those cubes of potato?
Yeah, I think they're called. Oh, they've got a name in.
Like
Wedges?
potato wedges?
No, they're not wedges. They are. They have got a name in American, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, tater tots.
Oh, yes, you're correct.
Yeah, well-made ones.
They're called potato gems here.
That's
I don't know
kind of
why,
great,
but
actually.
that's just what they're
Potato
called
gems.
here.
I kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I never knew what a tater tot was until one time. I think I googled it once and I just saw a picture of potato gems and I'm like, oh, we do have those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great. Anyway, so Evie, what are you rating this episode out of 5?
Because it's food-based, I want to give it pie out of 5.
I will accept that. 3.14159. I can't remember the rest of it.
654.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going higher than that. I'm going 3.14159.
This is
That's
the one
valid.
time I'm going to give a stupid decimal to an episode.
That is fair. And Quinn?
I'm going to give it a solid 4. It was a good episode. Made me hungry.
That is fair. And that means that... Chloe, do you want to give... It won't add into the overall score, but if you want to give it a ranking just for fun, I will put it in the spreadsheet I have.
Yeah, if I'm not going to throw off any, like, grand totals or anything. I don't know, I mean...
That'll be separate.
7.
Compare it to the Appmon.
Out of
we've been
5.
watching.
Yeah, my only real frame of reference is Appmon. And Appmon's pretty good, but I also really liked this episode.
that's not
I'd probably
fair. That's-
also give it, like, a 4.5 or even a 5, maybe. I don't know. It was very pleasant.
That is fair.
Got
I agree.
another
And
hay
also...
on our hands.
I do have
yeah, well,
some
to be fair, this
words
episode's
that
good.
Quinn wanted me to share about Atmon, though.
Yeah, we should definitely make time for Chiloe's
Chiloe's
chip-in just to talk about Atmon for a minute.
I lost my ear.
Well, once we're
I cannot
done
hear
with
anything.
once we're done with ranking, we can have a brief Chiloe's chip in about Atmon.
Cool.
And so yeah, that means our overall score is 11.64159 because that's 4.5 plus 3.14159 plus 4, which means that we don't have anything else on that level because we've never gone that heavy into decimal places. So that is good for me. We have given 11.1 overall before because Quinn and myself gave 3.8s and Evie gave a 3.5. But anyway, so that means it's higher than 11.5, which means it is better than episode 35 and episode 31. So that was... And what did we give episode 33? Also 11.5. So how do people feel about it being better or worse than episode 33, 35, and 31? So 33 was Hikari of Dawn, 35 was Angelomon's debut, and 31 was the New Darkness Millenniummon. How do people feel about those episodes?
Yeah, I think I've got it above
those?
in my rankings as well.
Okay, so that means that it's just below episode 9, which was the Ultimate Invasion, which was like Evie's second favorite episode. So that makes sense. I think I agree with that ranking. So that means that it is in 12th place. So it is pretty high up. It's sort of in the upper half, which is good. Basically upper third, top third rather. So yeah, I'm happy with it being placed there. As for me, what place did I put it in? I cannot even find it. Oh, there it is. I put it in 8th place for me. I really like this. It's kind of like at the top of the 4.5s. So it's just kind of gracefully brushing against a 5. But there was just something this episode felt like it didn't have. And I don't know what that is. More potatoes, I guess.
Mimi.
I don't know. More Mimi. That's fair. Evie, where did you put it in your overall ranking?
I put it just below episode 7, which I think is 18th place.
Yep. So, 18th place. I found that pretty much immediately, which is strange for me. Yeah, so...
It was a fun episode, which was a bit bland, because it was filler.
Yeah, it didn't have any salt on the fries.
Exactly.
It was unsalted fries.
Tragic.
And yet we're so salty.
Quinn, where are we putting this?
I'm going to put it between
That is fair.
12 and 31, which I think is in 9th.
Yep, that's 9th place, 12 and 31. So basically, we've all put it fairly high up in the rating, so that's nice. That is good. And we will now move on to Chloe Chip-In. Chloe, take it away.
So, I need to
Chloe.
look at my phone and see
What the notes we left for.
the very descriptive notes that I left for myself here. Because I wanted to come prepared this time. So, let me get my ear plugged back in so I can hear. But Atmon has been pretty good. I'm a fan of Atmon. It's getting me into Digimon a bit. I'm not gonna lie. However, I do have some questions. Specifically, what the heck is the deal with Globemon in his transformation sequence just going globalization? I don't understand.
I want to make a George Soros joke every time.
It's like, is that, and I know other like
The
Atmon have done that as they become ultimate Atmon.
Optimization or something.
Yeah, it was so like, does it always follow the pattern of like noun as an adjective, noun as a verb?
I really hope so.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And then also because I had a bad brain moment during one of the episodes, I definitely heard them talking to Eugene and heard like the just
English
regular English name Eugene. So now I always just think of Gene from Bob's Burgers when anyone talks to Eugene, and it's excellent. And that has
Eugene-san.
That has been Chiloe's
Jeez,
Chilipin.
I like that.
Chipin, whatever.
Thank you.
Chiloe's Chilipa.
Thank you, Chloe, for your chip-in.
Rotanga.
Okie dokie. So on to questions. First up, we have JCMon05, who says that Joe has evolved from Bakemon Lose Your Power to The Power of Pi Compels You. That's funny. I like that.
Stuff.
Pi
I really
came
like
up
that.
again.
Yeah, pie keeps on happening.
I like pie.
Same. That's why you gave 3.14159 as your answer.
Yep.
Oh, y'all. This episode was 39, so it's just missing the 0.1415. Wow, this is just the pie episode.
And yet it's the burger episode.
Anyway.
Are you not really?
Yep. Yeah.
It's the potato episodes.
Okay, quick pie-related question so we can make it actually about pie. When you think of pie, what is inside it?
Key lime.
Because I think meat.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
Meat pies.
Yeah.
Meat and potato or steak and kidney pie. Always
Yeah,
good.
it is just, well, in Australia, it's not even like, it's just meat. We don't even specify what's in. I have no idea what is in a meat pie. I would assume beef.
I don't know what sort of meat is in meat and potato pie.
See, this concerns
It's just, meat.
me.
Of cuts.
I've
Okay,
eaten so
vegetarian.
many meat and potato pies, and I don't know specifically what meat it is. It's probably beef,
Yeah.
but I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure.
Well, in Australia, I'm pretty sure it's like Angus or something, because that's like, I don't know why, we have the most Australian name for our beef. It's just like, Angus. That's just what we call our cows. Yeah. Angus. It's an Angus burger. Don't know why that sounds like super Australian to me. Probably because it is. Anyway, next we have Prince Adam, who says they really love the throwbacks to Bakuman Lose Your Power and Yamato screaming friendship, but boy does this feel too late in terms of the Yamato lore. They're happy that we got it, but it doesn't suddenly erase the bad or aloof characterization of the past 30 episodes. Also, they're not sure if it was overlooked because of the corporation versus union discussion, but we do actually see Koshiro and the others in Komodomon while Mimi is saying goodbye. They didn't reunite off-screen. Mimi's even calling back to them from the Best Boys trailer as the episode ends. I don't remember that.
I'll take your word for it, yeah.
I'll take your word for it. And they finish off to say that they expect another separation arc, and we didn't get it, and I'm really happy about that. Next, we have Seth saying they liked these episodes well enough, but most of the reasons they like it are things that didn't happen. If the kids hadn't been separated for so long and we actually remembered anything about these characters, it wouldn't have felt so random. Also, they feel like they could have just called this season Digimon Adventure Warp Wars and given the Megaforms right off the bat and just get on with it.
Pretty much.
And yeah, that makes
And
sense.
it's kind of what I've been saying. They really very clearly felt compelled to and resentful of spending 30 episodes getting everyone their old evolutions.
Yeah,
And
basically.
we still haven't quite finished.
Next we have Rashik. Yep. Yeah, and I'm really still hoping for more split evolutions. Like, if we get Bansho Lilymon, please. I want that. And she just showed up in the card game, so I'm kind of like rubbing my little grubby little hands together. Oh, yes, my little gremlin hand. Oh, yes, please. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but I want it to. Anyway, next we have Rashik, who says the gang's all back together. Bets on how long it'll take for them to split up again? I'm going to say like one episode. I literally thought it would be splitting up at the start of this episode for reasons unknown.
I thought the question was about us as co-hosts. Just like me being flaky.
Oh, no. No. When we have like the Digivices that we were always communicating, but we don't separation arc. We never separation arc. We only have the plot, which is the ocean. It is a very big plot, filled with water.
Is it dark?
Anyway, it's very dark. Very dark. Next we have Child Emperor, who says, "Ugh! The part where Taichi, Koshiro, and Takaru were talking to each other was awful. All of their heads were too big, and they had the skinniest necks they've ever seen." Yeah, basically, that was horrific, especially Takaru's. How is his neck not broken? That's what I want to know.
Hey,
His legs
can you do me
too.
a solid?
You don't
say
know.
ARG again, please.
Arg! That one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I could do you a solid.
Thank you.
Next. You're welcome. Next we have Ritzer, who says that this episode proves that Joe has been in the hot springs for days. How did he sleep? Did he even sleep? Good question. The show's never going to answer it, but good question.
Yeah.
Lastly, we have Sleek Emu 7 saying that this episode is just filler. If they take out the sacrifice plot and just have Joe meeting Yamato, nothing really happens. And also, how much do you want to bet the kids are going to get separated again? 100% they're getting separated again. I do not trust this series to be able to focus on individual characters, even though they did in this episode, but with actual plot, and have them not be separated. So I'm going to say, I think that they're going to separate in the next, 5 episodes. And if they don't separate in the next 5 episodes, we'll probably have, I don't know, a Megamon again. I don't know. We always will have a Megamon.
I'm still trying to get over if you take out the plot, nothing happens.
Alright everyone, thanks for joining us, and next time we'll be covering episode 40, Strike, the Killer Shot. Do we have any predictions for this episode besides the football references, apparently?
I guess it's going to be more filler?
I hope it's going to be more filler, because we've proven that this show can do filler not terribly.
What if Hikari does get sick, though?
I don't want her to get sick. I'm just excited because we get to see the new Wind Guardians that are coming out in the new Virtual Pet, which consists of...
last time the kids played soccer, we got a Dark Evolution.
True.
Has Ty spoken about soccer at all this season?
Evolved into Lionel Messi.
Okay.
We forgot to put Mon after the names, Chloe.
Yeah, we need
I'm
Mon.
so sorry. That was an awful joke. I'm very tired.
It's okay.
My roommate
Soccer
would
is
have
awful
laughed at
material.
that because he knows a lot about soccer and I know nothing about it.
I see.
I know nothing about anything. All I know is that there's a Dragon Fruit Digimon coming up and I'm excited. But this is apparently a Wind Guardians episode, so yay, more of that. But I don't have any actual predictions for it though.
Can we please get some
Other
marching
than if
fishes
it's filler,
coming out of an extra-dimensional hole?
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Anyhow,
I wouldn't mind a Taichi and Sora episode.
that would be cool.
It's been a while since, episode 4.
It's been a while since Sora mattered.
Yeah, I just want the Sora episode.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Give her
I
more than
hope
one
so.
line.
I really hope it'll be a Sora episode.
If it's
but for
not
some
a Sora
reason,
episode, I will be sore. I should go back to bed after this.
Me too.
I think we're all doing that, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's kind of horrible that I didn't even think that the next episode could be a Sora episode, which, I mean, it would make sense that it's a Sora episode because we're getting, this is just
the unimportant
arc we're in.
characters are getting episodes.
Yeah, but for some reason, I just never considered that we would get a Sora episode, and that's just how little attention she's had as a character. Even I knew, okay, this is a Joe episode, last episode was a Mimi episode. I never thought that this could be a Sora's episode. If someone said, hey, who do you think's this episode gonna focus on? I would say the whole cast. And now I feel really bad because Sora's just not had any love.
And that's her crest.
Yeah, so that's sad. Anyway, any other predictions?
I predict a good long sleep.
Samesies. So now I guess I will attempt the outro. Wish me luck.
Godspeed.
So the link dump's linked in the description, and so is our Redbubble. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us and send us spam at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com. You can also comment on this episode or message us on our website, which is LostinTranslationmon.com. You can follow us at TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And hey, we just made it past 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that's exciting. And also, we made it past 2,000 subscribers on Twitter. Equally exciting. Thank you everyone for doing that. But also, don't stop now. If you haven't subscribed, do the thing. If you have subscribed, don't do the unthing. Please. Thank you. You can also find and discuss with us on With the Will or on the Digimon subreddit. And you can also give us a review on Apple Podcast or any other podcasting app service that has reviews, and we'll read them out on the show. So you can please do that. That'd be cool. I'd like that, please. You can also donate to our Patreon, and that's in the description, from as little as $1 a month. That gets you access to a list of Discords. I have made a mistake. I said Discord. Anyway, you can subscribe to our Patreon and get access to listen. And now I have made the mistake, and I'm not going to re-say that part, so I'm assuming that everyone knows what I meant. But there are also high levels of rewards, such as notes, early episodes, and more. And also the roar of this, so you can hear me flub more and edit and things that I edit out. And of course, thank you to our supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Reeves, who is Wildwing64 on Archive of Our Own, Kardawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lismet, who's a Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Middle Mamimon, Sam, Anthony, Keith from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter x Hunter Rewatch podcast, Silverhead Freak 25, Magnus, Lucas, Blindman, JCMon05, and Patrick. Or you can also make one donation on our PayPal, which you found in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon, and boy howdy, my throat is getting dry. You can also donate to me on my coffee account, ko-fi.com/Edra. So thank you very much to listen to me flub again. Anyway, so obviously you can find me at TranslationMon, but where can I find my guests? Let's ask them. That could have been worded better, but I'm not even going to try. I want to go to bed. Anyway, Quinn, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at RealYubico and occasionally on the Moncast.
And you can find me on the Moncast with May and usually Quinn. Usually both.
Woo! Woo.
Usually both.
We aim for both.
And also Pokemon discussion.
Yeah. We do
Chloe,
that sometimes.
Where can
Which
people find you?
Sometimes.
People cannot find me on the Moncast.
Yeah,
but
Chloe.
I'm on Discord sometimes.
It's true.
Can we find you on Twitters or anywhere
I
else?
try not to tweet.
Do not perceive me.
I should try to also not tweet because I'm bad at it. Quinn's the queen of Twitter.
People keep sleeping on my tweets, though.
Because you tweet them when I'm sleeping.
An artist is never appreciated in their time.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure I do retweet your
No,
tweets, but
I
I'll
know.
make sure to definitely retweet.
I don't actually.
I'm going to
Everyone
retweet
needs
the
to
guy on
retweet
the
tweets.
motorbike outside that just drove past really loudly.
I will also retweet the guy in the motorbike who just drove past really quite loudly.
I will not.
I bet he has a Twitter. I'm gonna follow him on the motorbike and say, this is retweeting, right? Anyway, so thank you to my wonderful, wonderful guests for joining me, and thank you to our wonderful, wonderful listeners for listening to us.
Why
So
did
yes, we will see you all next time. Yeah, because I'm assuming that we bring some Digimon discussion to the table. I'm assuming, but that's all we... What else could we bring? That's just everything. It's like the potato salad to the picnic. What else would there be to bring?
French fries.
I included potatoes in there. That was unintentional. But it was potatoes. Relevant. Anyway. So, so also let us know, when you think of pies, what is in it? What is in the pie?
This is the most important
Key
question.
limes.
Fruits.
It's always meats.
Nah.
Thank you for listening, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.